Hey guys, I am seriously so excited to be filming this tutorial today. I mean, I think it's pretty obvious, but I'm just saying. I'm gonna start off with the Makeup Geek eyeshadow in the shade Bake Sale. And I'm gonna grab a long hair fluffy brush. This is a natural bristle, and this is the M441 by Morphe. And I'm gonna take that first shade and just dust it in the entire upper crease of my eye. As you can see, I'm totally avoiding my lid because we are going to be doing a cut crease today. So I'm just gonna stick right there in the crease and blend it up towards the brow so gently and so lightly. Then I'm gonna pick up a little bit of Makeup Geek Creme Brulee. This is an oldie but a goodie for me. It is my all-time favorite transition color ever. It blends out any shade on my skin tone so beautifully. It's my secret weapon to just a flawless blended eye. So I'm gonna take that color and just do the exact same thing and go right over it up towards the brow so that everything is super smooth. Then I'm gonna be going in with Makeup Geek Faux Fur, which I die for that name. Is it not perfect? Oh, it's too good to be true. I'm going to grab a much more small tapered brush. This is an M411 by Morphe. Any small tapered brush will do. And I'm gonna take that color, and this time I'm making it a little bit more precise, keeping it right in my crease. As you can see, I'm not blending it up like I did with the other two shades. I'm just going back and forth in windshield wiper motions, totally avoiding my lid, just staying right there in that crease area. And then once we have that down, then I'll kind of press a little bit harder, as you can see me doing, to blend it out so that it's not super duper harsh. And that's kind of how we do the cut crease. We start off really, really light, and we build a little bit darker, and a little bit more precise. Now I'm gonna change out my brush, but I'm gonna stick with the exact same Faux Fur eyeshadow color. And this is an M506 by Morphe. And it's much more tiny, much more precise, and it's gonna allow me to get right in there and really create that line that I want. But if we started off with this and didn't initially lay down all those other layers, then it wouldn't be as blended as I want it to be. And I definitely want this to be a very blended cut crease. I don't want it to be super harsh today. So I'm just gonna make sure that I put that in the entire crease area and then blend it out just like you saw me do with all the other shades. Now I'm going to pick up some MAC Chromaline in the shade Pure White, and I'm going to put this all over my lid and just begin to carve out this entire eye look. I am using a flat synthetic brush. This is the MAC 242. It is my favorite all over lid brush. I use it every single day, and I'm going to just begin to carve that entire lid out so that it is very clean. I want this to be very harsh. I don't want the upper lid to be harsh, but I do want the cut crease to be harsh, so that's why I am using this cream to really cut it out and define it. That way it really has that Cruella vibe. I'm gonna set the entire lid area with a white eyeshadow, and this is MAC Crystal Avalanche. It's got a little pinch of a shimmer in it, but honestly, like any white eyeshadow, matte, shimmer, it would totally do and work for this look perfectly. So I'm just gonna go ahead and go over that entire area and make sure that it's all set. That way there's no creases in any of the Chromaline that we set, and it doesn't move, it doesn't budge, it doesn't ruin the rest of the eye look. Now I'm gonna pick up a matte black, and this is where you want to be really, really careful. And I waited until this part to do it because I just felt like it was something that I wanted to do right before I did my eyeliner. And as you can see, I am working so gently with this precise brush. I mean, I just dip the very tip in, and then I barely touch my eye, and I continuously dip the brush in and just go back and do the tiniest little strokes to build it up so gently and so slowly. If you dip your brush in harsh and you start going in, you'll very, very quickly look like you got punched. So I want it to be so subtle. I don't even want it to really look like I'm wearing black eyeshadow. I just want it to give that nice shadow and that nice like definition to the crease area. So now for my liner, I am using a gel liner. And I'm going to make my wing a little bit straighter today. What I mean by that is normally I kind of elevate it up towards my brow a little bit more, but today I'm gonna straighten it just a pinch. That way it kind of matches the liner that I have in mind for my lower lash line as well. I didn't want it really intense and harsh and wing straight up to the heavens, you know? For my glitter, I'm going to go in with Lit Cosmetics Marilyn Monroe. This is my favorite silver glitter of all time because it's just the most beautiful glitter. And Lit Cosmetics, I feel like, makes one of the best glitters. It stays all day. And I do use their glitter adhesive as well. I dip my precision brush directly in it and then into the glitter. And I'm going to carve out my crease. And I'm basically going to go right over that entire line that we created in the crease area. And then just keep looking down for about a minute. That way, if you look straight up at that point and you had wet glitter, it would definitely get very messy. So just keep looking down while you're applying this, and then once it dries, you are good to go. It won't budge. Now for lashes, I'm gonna go in with these amazing lashes by Violet Voss. I don't know the name of them off the top of my head, but oh my gosh, I'm so glad that I had them because I feel like they just complemented this look so well. They kind of remind me of House of Lashes Iconic, but even more Va Va Voom. So now we're gonna move on to the face. I'm gonna start by priming with this Guerlain primer that I've been using the last couple of weeks, and I really do like it so far. Then for foundation, I'm gonna be using the Hourglass Vanish Stick Foundation. This is my favorite at the moment. It's the only one I've been using for about the past month. I love it. And I'm gonna be buffing that out with a synthetic kabuki brush. Get that mask on, girl. Then for my under eye, I'm going to just take on about 75 pounds of concealer. This is the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer, my favorite concealer at the moment as well. I just love this duo, this foundation, this concealer together. They're just my match made in heaven. It's been my go-to for the past month or so. So once I have all the foundation and concealer on, I'm gonna set my under eye and my entire face, which is what I'm doing now, with the RCMA No Color Translucent Powder with my damp beauty sponge. Then I'm going to fill in my brows. And for today's look, I'm gonna fill in my brows definitely much heavier than I normally would when I'm just doing my makeup for day to day, since this is a costume look. And Cruella de Vil always has very like big, bold, kind of bushy brows. They're always like combed upward. So it's gonna make those nice and bold. And then I'm going to highlight my brow bone, of course, and I'm using MAC Shroom to highlight my brow bone today. Then we are gonna go in with the intimidating part, which is the lower lash line. And I was like, oh my God, don't mess it up, Jaclyn, don't mess it up. But honestly, don't be that scared, because what I'm doing is I'm starting off with just black shadow. I'm not using gel liner, just black shadow and a definer brush. This definer brush, MAC Cosmetics sells it, Sigma sells it, and Morphe sells it. They all sell the exact same brush. It's just this small definer, and I'm gonna start off just with the black shadow, creating that line on the inner and the outer corner. Now, if you mess this up and you're like, oh my gosh, you can grab your concealer and go over it, pat it. You can set it again with some translucent powder, and you can erase it. It won't be the easiest thing, but you can do it. I had to do it, you can do it. So once I have laid down like my initial line, that's when I'm gonna grab my gel liner and go over it with an angled brush, and then really like make it intense and make it what I want it to be. Because I really want this graphic liner to pop. I want it to be kind of like the star of the show, along with the glitter cut crease. I want it to be intense under there. So I'm gonna do the exact same thing on the under eye. I start off on the outer corner, kind of matching the first line to my liner, just making it parallel, and then bringing that inner corner in. And then if you make any mistakes, you can see right here, me obsessing over if they're even or not. I'm just staring at myself, obsessing, like what can I do to improve? So I put a little bit of concealer on another definer brush, and I cleaned up some areas because I was like, nope, this needs to be straighter, this needs to be tighter. So there I am in the inner corner. So if you make mistakes, you can totally do this and then just keep going. Keep manipulating the eyeliner, keep making it work, you'll get there. It might take you a little bit, but you can do it. Then I'm going to grab just a very small, precise liner brush and some matte white eyeshadow, and I'm gonna put that on the outer corner and in the inner corner to really make that graphic liner pop. Because I thought it looked cool, but I was like, no, it needs more. It needs something to make it way more like poppy, way more modern, way more costume makeup. So I added the white eyeshadow to really give it that intensity. And then I have to just go over all the liner one more time with black to make sure that none of that white eyeshadow covered up, because I want it to remain the star of the show. Now for my cheeks, I'm going to contour using the new Becca Perfecting Powder, I believe it's called, and this is in the shade Tan. Oh my God, you guys, this powder is beautiful. They came out with a bunch of different shades, and it's so creamy and so buttery. Like when I swatched it, I was like, oh my Lord, yes. So I've been using this recently to bronze and different shades to contour. So I'm gonna carve that out because you know Cruella. I mean, I don't personally know her, but I feel like if I did know her, she would be contoured. She would be contoured to the gods. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna contour my face nice and sharp for her. And then I'm gonna use some Anastasia brow gel and comb my brows basically straight up to keep them nice and bushy and full, because she has very bushy, full eyebrows the entire movie. So that's what I'm gonna do. Then for my lower lash line, I'm gonna put on some mascara, but I'm not gonna put on too much because I don't want my lashes to like really stick out, because then I'll look like I have doll eyes and it'll kind of defeat the purpose of the Cruella look. I'm gonna grab this big old book of blushes from Tarte and use one of those like rosy mauve blushes and just pat that all over my cheek area. Literally all over, as you can see, kind of blending in my contour everywhere. I don't want it to be too perfect or too precise because that's not very Cruella de Vil. And then I'm going to take the Kat Von D Shade and Light palette. I'm gonna set that under eye area just to make it kind of pop a little bit more, to make it very highlighted. That way it's very like, wah, in your face. You like my words that I'm using? Wah, you get it, you know what I mean? Then for my lips, I'm gonna go in with Anastasia Liquid Lip in the shade American Doll. This is just a true red. I didn't want to do an orangey red or a terracotta red or like a pinky red. I want it to be a true red, and that's what American Doll is. It is like true red. So I did this liquid lip, and then I went over everything with OCC Stalker. This is a lip tar, and it's really nice because it's not too glossy, but it's not matte, and she always has glossier lips. And then I thought, this look is complete. I'm done. Look at me go. Look at me, my bad self. And then I was like, wait a second, I messed up. So once I was full on Cruella, I highlighted. Let's get real. And now this look is complete, honey. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoy. I love you guys, and I'll see you later. Happy Halloween.